Hey y'all, back with another video. Today we are going to do a story time about my most recent semester here at UNC. Okay, so I have my coffee. Look at my mug. My cousin Brittany got it for me. Hold up, let me rotate. It's got hot drink in it. It's a beehive. It's so cute. Anyway, so I have my coffee. It is, I think this one, I've been trying different pods. This is maple walnut, which it smells pretty good. So I'm confident that it'll be good. And then the only creamer I had was white chocolate mocha. And then put my little Splenda in there, you know. But let's see. Yeah, that's good. Okay, I'm ready. Like I said, this is going to be a story time about my most recent semester, this fall semester, fall 20 here at UNC. It is my first half of my sophomore year, and I just wanted to talk, so I figured I'd talk about that. And in the beginning of my freshman year at Carolina, I talked about my struggle over the summer during summer bridge with my grandma passing away and going through the emotional struggle with me being away from school and having to deal with becoming a college student, not being prepared for the academic rigor of this fine institution. Okay, I wasn't prepared. But I got through it, and saying that testimony about it was kind of helpful. And so that's what I'm hoping this will be. So I wrote down the main things that's happened that I want to share that made this semester what it was. So in the end of July, the very end of July, I was still moving onto campus. I was going to live in Hardin Residence Hall. You know, it's time to do another round, try again, because I got sent home early in my freshman year. So I was ready to move in, and then they start making all these, understandably, they start making all these rules, and I'm like, this is insane. I'm going to experience some serious loneliness, because there would be no people who didn't live in a dorm coming into that dorm. I had no friends in that dorm. I wouldn't be able to see my sisters. I wouldn't be able to see my friends. I wouldn't be able to see Zachary. I wouldn't be able to see anybody unless it was out, and that would be, not many spaces either. So it would pretty much be a lonely time for me. And late one night, I got a call from my sister, Tiana, and she was like, Cyan, it was a text, it wasn't a call. Boop, boop. Anyway, rewind. She texted me and said, hey, had you still plan on living on campus in the fall? And I was like, yeah, but I don't know about all these codes and stuff they're putting in place. I don't think I'm gonna be comfortable. I don't think I'm gonna want to do it. So it's sort of like a period in time, because I had a short window to cancel my housing contract without a penalty. So I had to figure it out pretty quick, and it's just happening all so fast. I didn't even know how the semester academically was gonna go, and I was just trying to make the best decision. And she said that her and two of my other friends from Summer Bridge were looking into a house, and if I was interested. And I immediately looked at my mom. Every time something happens, I have to make a decision, I automatically tell my mama, and because I want her to make the decision for me, it sort of takes the pressure off. But she said, Diane, it's up to you. It's not up to me. I'm not going to be the one staying. I'm not going to be the one up there. It's up to you. And I said, well, Mom, I'm just going to be open and honest. I did not want to live off campus until my senior year. And that is because I didn't want to live on my own so early. And also, especially my sophomore year, I did not want to live off campus, because that's when Faith lived off campus, and I'm really scared of being on my own in an apartment off campus at 19. And my Grammy told me, you can't live in fear about that, And I was like, yeah, I know, but it bothered me, and I didn't want to live off campus in my sophomore year. And that was why. So that's why I was so hesitant at first. And I said, yeah, I'm interested, because, that wasn't anything set in stone. And I then told her, I was like, well, show me the house. And it was really nice. And I liked it. And so, long story short, I ended up signing a lease with 3 of my friends to stay in a house off campus. It's really nice, 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and it's not big, but it's enough space. Well, at least for me anyway. Like, I'm really comfortable here. I love it here. I don't really have that many complaints, and it's very close to campus. I walked to campus from here a couple times earlier in the fall, and it's pretty good. So the month of August was a transition period for me, where I'm living on my own and get my own groceries, having to pay my own bills, except for the cell phone bill and my car note. That's still for mama. But anyway, y'all get what I'm saying. I had to grow up, and it was hard the first couple weeks, but I'm doing pretty good right now. I've transitioned pretty well. I'm proud of myself, because my mom told me, she said, well, Zion, you don't know if you can do it until you actually go out and try. Like, she said, I think you're underestimating yourself about being able to live on your own. And I've been doing pretty well. So that's the first thing that really changed the way my semester was going to look. And in August, another thing, me and Zachary celebrated 2.5 years together. We don't usually do month anniversaries, but it just so happened to fall on a Friday night, and we went out for dinner, and then stopped on the way home for like ice cream that we totally didn't have room for, and I regretted it later. But other than that, we're doing pretty good as well. I'm happy to have him here, and he's also living in an off-campus apartment, so I have him here, and I get to see him on a regular basis, so that's really nice. We've seen more of each other in the past 5 or 6 months than we ever have, and I am so thankful for it, because I'm thankful for him. I love him. And my classes, I usually take 16 hours my first and second semesters, which, against my better judgment, I shouldn't have taken 16 hours in spring. But I made it through, and my GPA is not suffering, so there's that. And I ended up only taking 13 hours. And I wanted to tackle my science with a lab, so my mom says rocks for jocks. It might have been rocks for jocks in the 90s. It's not rocks for jocks anymore, okay? So I had struggled with that, and I also took 2 education classes, a women and gender studies class, and that was pretty much all I had to do. Yeah. And so I had a lighter load, but it still felt just as heavy because it was online. It was hard to pay attention in class. I'm not even gonna lie. They had me for about 30 minutes, and then I'm like staring off in the window and like doodling on my iPad, and it's just like, it's hard to stare at a screen and sit there and listen to somebody in the same spot, not in this environment where I'm comfortable, and sit there and listen for an hour and 15 minutes. It wasn't working for me. But I had a really hard time with classes, and I think it's because they were online. I would not have had as much trouble if they were in person. I know that for a fact, because I know I like to call myself a good student. I do what I'm supposed to do. I turn my work in on time. I study. I read my readings 9 times out of 10. But I'm very proud of myself for making it through this semester. And it was so tough. Midterms week, around that time in October, it's always a lot of stress. It's always a lot going on. But I had this one teacher, not gonna name names, but some of my friends know exactly who I'm talking about. His midterm, he had a midterm on the day of class, and then on that Tuesday, because it's a Tuesday-Thursday class, and then that Thursday had a paper due. And I'm like, dude, you don't do an exam and do a paper in the same week. Don't do it, okay? Just don't. But he did it. So that was a really hard week for me. I hit rock bottom that week, and I'm like, if it don't get better from here, we might have to exhaust all our options and pass fail, okay? I don't want to do that, but it is there in case I need it. Zachary was like, you can't let that be an excuse to not try. And I'm like, yeah, but it's insurance in case my trying don't really work out. So I was keeping a watch on that, and I was really struggling, and my grade wasn't bad in the class. So it was pretty good. And then we hit finals week, and within the course of 4 days, I had 3 papers, 4 finals, and 2 projects. When I say I was a praying somebody for 4 days, I prayed the week leading up, and I prayed during. And it was a lot of late nights where me and my housemates, we all sat at this table till 2 a.m. night after night after night, trying to get it over with. And I was determined, and I got it done. The Lord saw me through. And also this semester, I did 2 admission sessions for potential Native students here at Carolina, obviously. I don't know why I would say here at UNC or here at Carolina, because every video you see from a student, they're like, here at UNC, here at Carolina. So it's just a habit. Anyway, so I did 2 sessions with that and really enjoyed talking about the school. It made me realize things that I loved about Carolina that I didn't realize meant so much to me. Like small things that you think are trivial, but they make all the difference in my Carolina experience. And also, one thing I really love about being a student here at UNC is so many things that my mom would tell me that she did. I'm going to the same places. I get to walk in the same buildings, do the same things. She told me about her limited experience in the Dean Dome. And so whenever I went to a game, I would feel like I was there for the both of us, because I went to about 4 or 5 games this season. Well, not this season, last fall. And I went to almost every football game. Football games were my absolute favorite. That's because I got to see the band in action. As some of y'all know, my baby plays clarinet, and I would find them. I would look for them, all them people, and I'd always find them. And that's one thing I really love about being here is the connections that I feel to my mom and the family that I've started to build here through Carolina Indian Circle. And now I have my sorority sisters. And also being a part of the sorority has shown so many more opportunities than I thought possible. I've been able to connect with people that I didn't know through Facebook and through we had like a gift exchange, and I got to swap gifts with a sister in Arizona that I wouldn't have ever met. So I've been very blessed to be able to have this community, this world full of sisters that I can rely on, and also having them here. And it's just been a blessing being able to do that as well. And this semester was our first full semester really having the full responsibilities of a sister and getting volunteer hours, meeting and discussing what we want for our chapter, which ultimately will determine what we want to see and how we want to see our sorority grow in the future. And that's just been awesome too, because I wanted this for a long time as well. So that's also made my semester a lot different. And our sisters weren't able to see each other as much as possible, and that sort of makes me sad, because we never really got to spend a lot of time together with the older sisters after we crossed. Me and my line sisters crossed, and that sort of been like missing that opportunity to bond with them as well in a different way. And that's also been a challenge this semester. And but going back to my grades, I was checking constantly, and my final grades came out, and I did really well. I'm actually pretty shocked at the science class and the lab, but you know, the Lord brought your girl through once again, and I did well on my classes. My GPA is great, and I'm doing fine academically. And I am doing great now emotionally because it's done. I do not have to do another homework assignment, reading, project, paper. None of that starts back until January the 19th. So I have no complaints there. And also, one thing I really want to say that really changed my semester and also changed the future teacher that I'm going to become when I start teaching is my Education 533 Social Justice and Education class. And me and Taylor actually took it together. We've actually taken a couple of classes together since we've been at Carolina, 3 or 4 classes, and we might be taking one together next semester. And this class just really opened my eyes to the problems that we have in the education system and how we can begin to even think about solving some of these problems, and how I can be as a teacher to do the absolute best and be the absolute best for my students and to give them the best overall outlook on life and to send them in the right direction. And I'm sort of humbled by the things that we talked about and the things I learned in that class. I taught myself some things, I learned things from my professor, but mostly what I really was humbled by is learning from my classmates in that class, and that really just changed everything for me. I know for a fact that I will be a different teacher now because of this class, and I cannot wait for my day in the classroom so I can show my future students what I learned and show them through my actions and my words what social justice is and how much they deserve it. And don't let me get on that's a whole nother video. Anyway, so that was one class that I really wanted to shout out because it changed my life, it changed my semester, and it changed the outlook that I have on being a teacher and for this country, because the more and more we have teachers who speak to their students, speak life into their students, provide them opportunities, find different ways to teach that benefit and adjust to that student situation, the better, I think the brighter the future of this country could be if we had more teachers like this. And it all starts with that one, and I'm going to be a one. So hopefully when I get my day in the classroom, I will be as impactful as I want to be. So y'all pray for me in that. For those of you who didn't know, I do want to be an elementary school teacher. I will prefer grades 2nd through 5th, but I'm not choosy. I didn't like me in middle school, so that's why I don't want to do middle school. We sort through a lot of things in middle school, so, and high school, but it's a little more concentrated in the middle school years. That's all I'm gonna say. But the last couple things that I wanted to talk about, so it actually worked out where Elizabeth is going to sublease one of the rooms in the house from one of my a girl who was living in here, one of our housemates, and she has to move out. So Elizabeth is going to sublease, and she will be moving in with us in January. I'm so excited to have Liz here. Y'all don't know how much I love that girl. So that is going to happen next semester. It's her last semester as a Tarheel. Well, once Tarheel, always a Tarheel, you know. But it's her last semester as a student here at UNC. And I'm so excited for her, and I can't wait to see what she's going to do. That girl is smart. I don't know how she be doing some of the things she do, but she's so smart. I don't even know. And the last thing I want to talk about is next semester I did class registration, and my classes are looking pretty good. I'm really excited about next semester. I'm going back to 15, 16 credit hours, so be in prayer for me because it's still online. But the closer that I get, I can just taste the sweet, sweet, sweet victory of having a degree passed to me with the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Y'all just don't understand. I'm telling you, this university, I don't even know what to say. Anyway, but with each passing semester, I'm getting close to walking across that stage on Mother's Day in 2023. I'm excited. And that'll be my mama's gift for that year. Because, I'll be just graduating college, ain't gonna have no job. So, I might not have no money to give her nothing. So, that might be her gift. Honestly. Graduate with her knowing she ain't got to pay nothing. We're not in no type of debt. That'll be her gift. Yep, that'll be her gift. I done figured it out. That'll be her gift. And I am getting heavier on the education classes, so that's exciting. I get into my major of study more, and I'm just really looking forward to that and seeing how, because not all education classes are about, teaching, you know what I mean? It's a lot of development, and I find that really interesting because honestly, like learning about the policy, learning about how classroom structure plays a part, and learning about all these different things and what are going through the minds of young people as they're in those stages of life. I'm just really excited for all of it, honestly. And I am really looking forward to my sister Evan graduating high school. I'm very excited for her, and I can't wait to see where she's gonna end up. I don't know how I shifted the conversation from my semester to this, but that's what's going on. I've been praying for her throughout this semester about her college application. She's been having trouble there in between guidance counselors, basic issues that we've had before when I was also in high school. So I'm just ready to see where she decides to go to college, and whether she goes to UNCG, which is one of the places she's looking at, NC State. Sissy ain't got but a 30 to 45 minute drive. She can't get rid of me at all. No matter where she goes, I will be visiting often, and I don't think she could deal with that right now. And also, my baby Zachary, he's graduating from Carolina with a Bachelor of Science in Chemistry and a minor in Spanish for the medical profession. When I tell y'all that minor helped me pass my foreign languages here, I'm not even lying. But I did the work. He just assisted. But without that assistance, I wouldn't have made it through some of them homework assignments. So he did help me. I give him that. But I got the grade, but he helped me. He didn't take the final for me. Remember that. But he helped me out, and I'm so thankful for him as well, and I'm proud of him. And in the fall, he'll be a UNC Eshelman School of Pharmacy student, and in 4 years have his PharmD. He'll be doctor. Can't wait to say that. And so I'm excited for him because he's worked really hard. I remember last semester, or semester before that, he was studying for some test, and I said, "Will it help you if you try to explain it, like talk yourself through all of the stuff?" Y'all, I don't even think he know, but I low-key fell asleep with my eyes open while he was telling me that stuff. He went through like 10, 15 pages of notes explaining how these compounds and connections and figures and whatever they's called work, and I'm sitting there like, I'm just sitting there listening. I'm halfway listening. I'm just like I'm having an out-of-body experience. Like I didn't understand nothing he was saying. I swear he wasn't speaking English. He was speaking chemistry. So I don't know. I'm just proud of him for getting through all that stuff, because all them chemistries and ologists and chronologists and whatever else he had to do, it wasn't easy, because I looked at one page of notes and I started to almost cry. So, and many late nights in the library for him that I remember. Even before I got here, he would spend late nights in the library. I mean, that boy would go to class, go eat lunch, go in the library, and stay there until like after sunset. Every day, I think. I think it was his first semester or something like that. Because every time on Snapchat, he would snap me, he would be in the same spot in the library. Like my whole afternoon, every snap I got from him, sporadically, every hour and a half, he would be in the same spot. And that dedication, I was like, whew, hope I have that. I would like to thank y'all for watching my story time. And if you've stuck with me this long, appreciate you. Because sometimes I can just go on and on and on and on. So, thank you for watching my video. And this has been Story Time with Cyan. I love y'all. Today we are going to so where to begin?